Hello there, and welcome back to Out There, a Cryptid podcast. I'm your host, Josh. Each week I'll be coming out with a new episode focused on a cryptid that I find super fascinating and weird. And if you don't know what a cryptid is, according to Merriam-Webster, a cryptid is an animal, such as Sasquatch or the Loch Ness Monster, that has been claimed to exist, but never proven to exist. Now, cryptids don't have to be supernatural or mythical beings at all. Although many of them are, some cryptids have actually become documented animals. Make sure you go and follow the podcast on Instagram, @OutThereCryptids, and check out the posts I make for each episode, and maybe send some suggestions you would like to hear. In each episode post, there will be a sketch of what the cryptid looks like, and all of the pictures or videos I reference in each episode. This week, we'll be talking about a cryptid straight out of a 1960s scary movie. We are talking about the Lizard Man of Scapor Swamp. Today's Weird Club inductee is my best friend, Lucia. She is a brilliant young woman who is fluent in 4 languages and has traveled throughout Asia after graduating early from college. Plus, she's hilarious. So we'll hear what she has to say about the Lizard Man at the end of the episode. Okay, now let's dive in. July of 1988. Sheriff Leston Truesdale gets a call from a man in a small town near Bishopville, South Carolina, claiming his car had been mauled by an unknown creature. The sheriff made his way out to see how bad the car was and to hear the account from the witness. The witness claimed to have seen a 7-foot-tall creature with red eyes. The sheriff didn't think much of it, but put the word out, and if anybody had information, they should come forward. A couple of days later, another resident named Tommy Davis came in with his 17-year-old son, who claimed to have had a sighting of his own. Chris Davis was driving home from his night shift at the McDonald's when he decided to take a shortcut home. While he was driving, he got a flat tire, so stopped the car and went to go fix it. After he did, he saw a 7-foot-tall green creature with 3 fingers on each hand and red eyes. He jumped back into his car and started it. Then there was a thud on the roof. The creature had jumped on top of the car. Chris started swerving to try to get the creature off, and it eventually did. And Truesdale heard this story and believed him. Now, Truesdale is a saint because this rarely happens in cryptid cases, where the police takes it seriously. The police are actually usually the ones that make fun of the people, so it's kind of a breath of fresh air for sure. Of course, something like this wasn't going to go unnoticed, and the media swarmed. Not only did the media come in hot, so did other eyewitnesses. Some Truesdale believed were true, and others he thought were a hoax. One of the most famous cases from the Lizard Man is from 2007. Dixie Rawson says her car was attacked by something in the dark of night. It almost looks like something chewed the hood and side of her car. Something with really strong teeth, because this is metal. And it's completely chewed up. So whatever did this had to have been really strong and had a powerful set of chompers on them. Rawson also claimed to have found dried blood on the car. She sent the sample to be tested, and the results came back in a completely different direction, which I will talk about during the Weird Club segment. This car was also featured on my favorite TV show, Destination Truth. Josh Gates had the former LA Zoo curator, Mike D, on to look at the car photos. D said the bites were highly unusual and not the behavior of a normal animal that he was aware of. He went on to say, current lizards all have straight teeth, all the same size. So that means that nothing reptilian could have done that. Certainly not even a crocodile, which aren't even native to South Carolina. I mean, alligators are native to the area, but I think either way, he was ruling out an alligator. The mystery became very commercial for a while because the town started selling merchandise and throwing a Lizard Man festival every year, but for the people who had real encounters, this creature was still out there and they were really scared. Frank Mitchell had a sighting of the creature in broad daylight. He's a pilot in town, and one day while he was loading his plane for a flight, he said he saw the creature walk right on the runway, staring at him with those red eyes, before continuing into the thick swamp. Mitchell has flown over the swamp for years and said something can survive and never be seen in that swamp. During Josh Gates' investigation, Gates agreed, and he said it is almost impossible to move through the area. Certainly ample room for wildlife to be completely undetected in these swamps. Now, you might be saying, other than the car stories and the sightings from the 1970s, is there any other evidence? Well, yes and no. The sheriff claimed to have found footprints in the swamp back in 1988, and he cast these footprints. They are about 14 inches long and had 3 distinct claws. According to John Evans, the spokesperson from the South Carolina Marina Resource Department, the tracks neither matched nor could be mistaken for the footprints of any recorded animal. Dee, the former LA curator, said that they looked anatomically wrong. The conclusion most people have come to is that they are fake. Someone must have made a stamp and walked around the swamp hoping to convince people they were real, because the prints are exactly the same. There's no variation whatsoever. But these prints at the time were crazy pieces of evidence. Of course, hunters became interested, and even a nearby radio station offered $1 million to anyone who could capture the creature alive. Obviously, no one ever did, but I'm sure many people tried. Now, I started asking myself, well, did the sightings just stop? And the answer is another yes and no. I mean, we have Rawson's from 2006 and then Mitchell's, but it seemed like there weren't any other well-documented sightings. But I found this sighting that I think is really worth hearing, and you'll understand why. In August of late 1980s, Kenneth Orr, who was stationed at Shaw Air Force Base, claimed to have come across the lizard man on Highway 15. He said he shot and wounded it. He even claimed to have several scales and some blood to prove it. He filed a report with the police, but about 2 days later, he recanted his statement and then was arrested for unlawfully carrying a pistol and for filing a false police report. Orr said that he made up the sighting in order to keep stories about the lizard man in the news. And I wish I could say that was the last hoax, but then in 2015, Lizard Man hit the media by storm again, this time by a woman who claimed to have taken a picture of it on her way to church. Now, in this picture, it is clearly not a real lizard man. I mean, maybe someone could believe it, but to me it just looks like a Star Trek costume, and a pretty bad one at that. I also love how poetic it is that she created this entire hoax or experience up before going to church. But I have to be honest, when researching this case, I was really disappointed in the number of what seemed to be hoaxes. But let's go to our Weird Club member, Lucia, to discuss some theories and hear what she thinks. All right, everybody, welcome to the Weird Club segment of the podcast. And today's guest is Lucia Frattocongeli. That's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. But welcome to the show, Lucia. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, Lucia, tell us a little about yourself. Are you a believer or are you more of a skeptic? Have you seen Bigfoot? What are your thoughts on all that?
I would say I'm a skeptic, and I also don't think I even knew who Bigfoot was until you did your senior speech on him. So no, I have not seen Bigfoot.
Honestly, one of the best presentations I've ever given in my entire life. I'm still proud of it.
I did mine on pasta, so.
Yes, even better.
So yeah, no, I would not say I'm a believer. I honestly don't really even read about this type of stuff, so I don't even really know much about it.
Perfect. We love a skeptic because then you can actually give us the rational side of all these things, because that's wonderful. Great. So you've heard all about Lizard Man.
Yes.
Just straight off the bat, what is your first thought?
I think these people were on drugs. He's not real.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's real. I don't know what happened to their cars, but it was probably just some random animal in the middle of the night. You also can't really see colors in the middle of the night, so how did this guy know he was green,
Fair point.
I think that first guy from the 80s was on drugs, and then the other lady who took alleged picture of him on her way to church. I don't know. She was like high on God or Jesus or something.
Amen. Amen.
I don't know. I think they're just trying to fuck with people. Maybe I don't really know what their intentions are, but
right.
I don't think it's real.
Right. I mean, like I have said, although I am a believer, I am fully acknowledging that there are people out there that would want to fake things like this, and I have to say, just based on the evidence that have been found, I also don't think that this cryptid is real. As much, like, honestly, if someone finds like a video that's like real, then I'm down to believe. But
even then, like, it's very easy, like with technology nowadays, it's very easy to like fake something or like design it and make it look real. Like, look at all the like animated movies that like look really real and they're not. So
exactly. Like,
even a video,
Dory.
I would still be skeptical. Finding Dory, great example.
Great example. Okay, I think you're gonna. So I'm gonna explain some possible theories on what this cryptid could be. And again, since this cryptid is a little harder to explain than a giant bird, like Thunderbird, the theories are a little wacky. But I personally love this one, and I think you will too. So, some people may believe that what they were seeing in the 80s, and maybe even now, still today, were emus. And so they don't look like lizards at all.
I was gonna say
emus do have 3 claws in their feet, and I guess not claws. I guess you consider it talons because they're birds, but I don't know how that works. Anyway, so they have 3 toes, we'll say. So that does, for people who have seen the tracks, except for the ones that look terribly fake, maybe. And even so, back in the 90s, emu meat was supposed to be the next like red meat.
Really?
So emu farms started in Texas and the South a lot, and there's still emu farms now. So people like believed that was the how to save the environment from processing meat like we do today. But it just never caught on. So maybe someone in South Carolina had an emu farm and one of them escaped. I mean, I didn't find any emu farms reported in like the area, but or maybe someone just had a pet emu.
Also, like, are they aggressive animals? Like, what would be their motive to attack a car?
Well, I'm not like an emu specialist or anything. And I also am scared of birds. And so like emus and ostriches ostracize. Well, anyway, I'm not a fan of ostriches, emus. Any bird that is large is a no from me. But I feel like I have heard, especially in like the savannas of Africa, of I guess not emus, but like ostriches chasing after cars and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were like not like necessarily aggressive, but if spooked or something. It's an animal still. So yeah, so that one is like really far-fetched, but I personally think that would be hilarious if people thought they were seeing a lizard man and it was just an emu.
I mean, you got to be taking like some strong stuff to think a bird is a lizard man.
That's very true, literally. And the red eyes don't make any sense for a bird.
Or the green like skin or whatever.
Yeah. So I think the emu one we can rule out, but had to be said because it's hilarious. So remember the blue car from Dixie Rawson's driveway? Mm-hmm. Well, and you remember how I told you about how they found DNA on it. So they got the DNA tested, and it came back as canine. So not reptilian whatsoever. So, I mean, maybe not that like I've ever heard of a dog eating a car, but I don't know, like maybe a cat crawled under it and a dog, like or I'm literally like finding any kind of.
Or like a wolf. I don't know if like the DNA would show up as differently for a wolf, but like dogs are descendants of wolves. Maybe it was a wolf. something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, wolves aren't native to South Carolina, but
That's true.
you never know. I mean, a coyote, but even coyotes are smaller than some dogs.
Yeah.
It could have been a dog that had. I mean, I'm not a dog expert. I wish I was. But it could have been maybe like a dog that had rabies and was just out of its mind.
Fair. Like a rabid dog.
Yeah, or a sick dog of any kind. But I mean, you can't deny, like, DNA evidence is DNA evidence.
Right.
I don't know. And even if it came back as reptilian, then I'd almost be more inclined to be like, oh, like, although I'd probably lean more towards like maybe an alligator did it. Like, still reptilian. So, but since it's canine, it's like, yeah. So that was a dog of some sorts.
I mean, there are like in the US, we know dogs as like domestic animals, but in other countries, like they're actually like very not domestic. And so I'm sure there are dogs in the US too that are not domestic, obviously. So maybe it was like a wild dog, and like wild dogs are cray. Like they're so I could see that being like a obviously not domestic dog like attacking a car or something for God knows what reason.
And dogs usually, like, their instinct is to travel in packs for the most part. So maybe it was like multiple dogs.
Yeah, true.
So I mean
who knows? Maybe they like sniffed something that was interesting and they were like trying to get under the hood of the car or something,
Right. I mean, like, because it could have been, because any kind of small animal can get into, like, you've heard of cats hiding under cars. And sadly, even like cats hiding inside of cars.
Yeah. And like engines.
In engines and stuff. So maybe the cat somehow got in the hood, and the dogs were just like, going at it. But yeah, and I think that one is pretty self-explanatory. Like, it was a dog of some sorts. I don't know what or how. And until someone starts claiming that they see a dog man, like a werewolf or something, which we will cover in a different episode.
I was gonna say that one I would be more inclined towards believing because there's just so much, speculation about it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll bring you back when we do Dogman in Michigan.
Perfect.
Okay, so basically the original like attacks and first stories like in the 80s that came out all happened within like 3 to 4 years of each other. So maybe whatever was like terrorizing the town died because the sightings have stopped. So like, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe there was a lizard man and then it died and, like, its body decomposed in the swamp, because that's, the swamp is so thick that if there was a dead body somewhere, especially if it's green, it's gonna like
true.
No one's gonna be like, yeah. So maybe there was a lizard man and it died, or maybe it was just I don't know, like an emu, or maybe
definitely the emu.
for sure an emu. Or maybe it was a town that came together and was like, let's do something to put ourselves on the map.
True. I mean, honestly, that like tourism that attracts tourists. Like if your economy is going down, you get creative. You come up with something like that.
Because the town was, it's in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina. And now they have the Lizard Man Festival every year, which brings in tourists all the time. Oh my God,
are you serious?
Yeah. And there's, I mean, like, people like me, if I was there, oh, heck yeah, I would go. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, they even got on TV shows because of this thing.
Wow.
So maybe it was a town that came together and was like, we need to do something to boost our economy.
Right.
Or maybe they were seeing something and just don't see it anymore. I don't know.
Question. Was it like they thought it was just one like lizard man, or did they think there were like multiple? I think all of the sightings were in the same town.
Yeah, all the sightings were in the same town, and like basically in and around the swamp. I doubt that they thought it was like a family of them. I'm sure at least from what I saw, it seemed to, in every like story, it was just one. So they probably believe that it was just one thing walking around, which is also leads to another point of, if it is just one, like, how does it breed? Like, you know what I mean? How,
Like, where did it come from?
yeah, where did it
Yeah.
come from and why? Because this is a different cryptid that I probably won't do an episode on because everybody knows it. Sasquatch has been reportedly seen in family groups, and it's reported literally all, like, in basically every state in
Right.
America, and then Canada, and in all parts of Europe. Well, I guess not, maybe not Europe. I don't know. I'm not familiar on the European Bigfoot. Like, I don't know if, like, in the Tuscany
Language
villages in
doesn't
Italy,
speak.
you know, like, he's out there like, oh, like, I shall eat your pasta now. Like, I don't know. Or like in France, sitting at the Eiffel Tower with like wine. I doubt it. But I know in, like, obviously the Yeti, which is in the Himalaya mountains, and even like places in Australia. So either way, there are cryptids that are reportedly seen in family groups and stuff, which would lead us to believe that there's more possibility that they've lived on. And a creature is found by itself. Yeah, it begs the question of, like, how is it going to survive, A, alone, and B, is it going to reproduce, or is it fucked?
Right. Like, is it like a random alien that just got dropped here by himself and it's gonna die off, or what?
Right. There actually is another lizard cryptid that was reported. I forget what state it was. I was going to do it, but it sounded so, it literally is, it was reported to be half lizard man and then half in this, like, silver spaceship thing. So, like, basically from the waist up, it was like a lizard. And then from the waist down, it was like a silver spaceship. And I was like, God, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like,
that's
what?
Like, not even a kid would believe that.
Exactly. There actually is another reptilian creature. It's like the Loveland frog or something. I'm forgetting the name right now. But like, people have there. I'll do another episode, but there are a ton of sightings of this thing, and it's apparently this, like, giant frog that is always holding some, like almost like a sparkler, like, some weird wand type thing in its hand.
Weird.
But the sightings of that one are pretty nuts. So I'll definitely do an episode on it. But so, you know, I think Lizardman is like the OG lizard cryptid, other than a Komodo dragon, which is real, just creepy. But I mean, and also, like, people, I mean, I know I'm terrified of reptiles. I don't really like them. They freak me out.
They're just weird. Yeah, they kind of freak me out too.
Right. And also, like, they're, besides obviously the chicken, which is a descendant of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, reptiles are, like, the closest thing to dinosaurs. They share that DNA.
Right.
So yeah, it is weird that, like, and it's also weird that they lick their eyeballs. I'll say it. Why do they do that? Yeah, well, like lizards do. I know my sister's gecko does. Like, Waldo will just, like,
read the room.
Yeah,
read
and
the
it's
room,
like,
honestly.
Hey, there's people here. Like,
no one wants to see you doing that shit. No, thank you. In this house, we do not do that.
Amen. So yeah, and also, like lizards live forever. So I guess that does support their theory, because my sister's had her gecko. I don't even know how long, since back when she was in college, and she's. Wow. But anyway, yeah. So there's really nothing else, no other evidence to prove against this creature. There's really not a lot of evidence to prove for the creature. Honestly, I don't know.
It's crazy that, like, people will create a freaking festival off of, like, so little evidence of this thing even existing.
Right. And I mean, like, yeah, like, and in the town, people really believe it. Like I said, they have this festival, and every year people come in to tell about their own experiences with the cryptid. But at the same time, like, I don't know, how believable is everybody? And also at the same time, you know, once people are told that there is a possible lizard man in the swamps, there could be a deer walking around, and
and people be like, oh, I think it's him.
You know, like, because I would too. I mean, when I get spooked, I get spooked. So I mean,
yeah, that's like, it's kind of just like a psychological thing where if you have something on your radar, then you're gonna keep thinking that you see it, even if you don't.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's why it could just be a trick of the mind. You know, once people have said they've seen it. And also, I'm just thinking about this now. How the heck did that woman who posted the picture from 2015, how the heck did she try to explain that that was Lizard Man when that creature was clearly like this tan color? Read the room. Green. You couldn't have painted the suit.
Also true. Agreed.
I'm disappointed in her, because if she really went full out to get the costume, yeah, I need to talk. Like, if you're listening to this, ma'am, please call me. We need to chat.
I need to talk to your manager, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna Karen the shit out of this. But like, come on, if you're gonna go through with it, then go through. You might as
well. Yeah, you gotta like go all out. You can't half-ass it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think God would forgive her more if at least she did a really good job with it. Like God would be like, well, like
maybe then she would go to heaven.
Right, because right now, listen, she's got to go to confession to admit to the faking that. But then again, like it did put the town back on the map. It brought it back. Like even CNN did an article on the Lizard Man, which is I don't know. CNN.
CNN's big, yeah.
It's an international, yeah. So
yeah,
it just like it got it back on the map.
Honestly, I agree. I think it was like a promotional thing that they just like came up with, had no evidence for whatsoever, or like made up evidence. And yeah, I mean, it's a good plan, honestly.
Right. It's a good story. And especially during the 80s back, like that was close to when those like horror films, well, I guess they were earlier, but anyway, it was still like in the big time of when horror films were about creatures that were like eating people and stuff. So that's definitely like, I guess it's a little after the slasher film started, but still it was coming off of that horror of like, swamp creatures and stuff like that. So it is something straight out of a story that maybe, and to go back to the first reported sighting from Chris, he's a teenager. Like he could have gotten a flat tire from doing something stupid. Like he could have been smoking weed. He could have been doing anything.
Again, I think he was on drugs and he was hallucinating, because you see weird shit when you do hallucinogenics. So
that's literally what they're for. So,
and you literally think it's real. So like, of course you believe it in what you see.
Exactly. And the town that it is in is not, it's no Los Angeles. It's no town that has money and is funded. It's a town
and like anyone has ever heard of. Yeah, what is it called again?
Bishopsville, South Carolina. So like, it's not Charleston. It's not any of those towns.
Some random unheard of town. Yeah.
So why not put it on the map? Because then also that helps everybody in the town. Right. Everybody gets a little piece of that if everybody just goes along with the story.
I mean, it even just like raises value of like property and stuff like that,
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think we both agreed that it's not real. It's not really out there, unfortunately.
The bitch is fake.
She fake.
She like straight up don't exist.
Exactly, which is the worst kind of fake.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, Lucia, thank you so much for being on the show. You will definitely be back because we love to hear from a skeptic.
Anytime. I'll be here to crush all your theories.
Amazing. I'm going to have you back on definitely for Dogman, since you've heard about it already. But or any other ones. But anyway, you'll be back no matter what. Again, thank you so much for doing this. And Illy.
Thanks for having me. Illy too. You see weird shit when you do hallucinogenics. So
that's literally what they're for. So,
and you literally think it's real. So like, of course you believe it in what you see.
Exactly. And the town that it is in is not, it's no Los Angeles, where it's no Princeton. It's no town that has money and is funded. It's It's a
And
town in
like
South
anyone has ever
Carolina.
heard of. Yeah. What is it called
Right.
again?
Bishopsville.
Bishopsville.
Bishopsville, South Carolina. So like, it's not Charleston. It's not
Yeah, no,
any
it's
of
like
those towns
some
there.
random unheard
Right.
of town. Yeah.
So why not put it on the map? Because then also that helps everybody in the town.
Right.
Everybody gets a little piece of that if everybody
Of
just goes along with the
course.
story.
I mean, it even just like raises value of like property and stuff like that,
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think we both agreed that it's not real. It's not really out there, unfortunately.
The bitch is fake.
She fake.
She
And not
fake.
like the good kind of fake where she's talking behind my back right now. Like she
No.
fake.
She like
And
straight up don't exist.
exactly, which is the worst kind of fake.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, Lucia, thank you so much for being on the show. You will definitely be back
Of
because we love to hear from a skeptic.
Oh, anytime. I'll be here
Anytime.
to crush all your theories.
Amazing. I'm gonna have you back on definitely for Dogman since you've heard about it already.
Go down.
But or any other ones. But anyway, you'll be back no matter what.
I'm
Again,
down.
thank you so much for doing this. And Illy.
Thanks for having me. Illy too.
But this is a really important part of cryptozoology and being a cryptid fan. As much as I would love to believe in every kind of cryptid, I just can't. Some don't have enough evidence to support the claims. Now, I could be completely wrong, and honestly, I hope I am. I hope there is a giant lizard roaming the swamps in South Carolina. But with what I found, I think he really isn't out there after all. Remember to follow us on Instagram @OutThereCryptids and check out the post for the episode and tell us all of your thoughts on the cryptids we cover. And if you could please go and rate us on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, that would be wonderful. It's a great way for other people to find the podcast and enjoy it with you. Next week's episode will be covering a cryptid that some people in England wouldn't even consider a cryptid. The famous hellhounds. See you then. This episode was written and hosted by me, Josh, with logo designed by Jason Zykes and theme music from purpleplanet.com.